Please be seated. Good afternoon, school board members, administration, faculty, student body, parents, and friends. Welcome to the CRCS Annual National Honor Society ceremony. It is a privilege to introduce the National Honor Society President who will lead us through today's ceremony, Ms. Brittany Fair.
I would like to welcome students, faculty, families, and distinguished guests of our new National Honor Society members who will be inducted shortly. This year marks the continuation of the tradition started many years ago as we merged the Cuba and Rushford chapters of the National Honor Society into one. It is an honor to be representing this year's established members as we introduce and welcome the 17 new members to the NHS. Every year, new members for the NHS are selected by the faculty to become part of this tradition. Students selected are unique. They have achieved a cumulative average of 90% or higher and have demonstrated strong qualities in the areas of scholarship, service, character, and leadership. These qualities are rated by the teachers, and letters of recommendation are provided for each candidate. The members who will be inducted today have passed through this rigorous process and stand before you understanding both the prestige and responsibility of this honor. We would like to take a moment to review each of these qualities. To review scholarship is Rachel Webb.
Scholarship is meant as a term that describes academic learning or achievement. Scholarship is the goal of all active learners who seek success and achievement in their academic pursuits. Scholarship should be a lifetime activity that enriches each individual, taking personal interests and traits into account.
To review service is Monroe Morris.
Service is defined by work done by somebody for someone else. Anyone involved in clubs, sports, student government, or school activities lends him or herself to this characteristic. Service is an obligation that we should all share in hopes of making our school, community, country, and world a better and more caring place in which to live.
To review character is Ashley Law.
Character can be defined as a person marked by notable or conspicuous traits. Each person is defined by his or her character. The students who are being inducted today have shown character through their dedication and the effort they demonstrate in all areas of their high school endeavors.
To review leadership is Sarah Carey.
Leadership is defined as the position or guidance of a leader. The quality of leadership can take many forms. It can be vocal, by example, or through the involvement and activities that you share with others, striving for improvement. All the inductees have shown leadership qualities in one form or another.
To review knowledge is James Ward.
Knowledge is the awareness or possession of information, facts, ideas, truths, or principles. Knowledge is a never-ending quest for understanding events and emotions. Failure to seek knowledge leads to a failure in growth and improvement. Knowledge is comparable to truth in that it is not a gift, but a characteristic to be cultivated and sought.
To review hope is Haley Fry.
We do not light the candle of hope so that it may never be extinguished.
Now, I would like to call upon each presenter chosen by the inductee to join us on stage to introduce each new member. Introducing Noah Allis will be Mr. Christopher Capoletti.
Noah Allis. I've known Noah Allis for about 5 years, as a student in my classroom, an athlete on the football field, and a member of the Backpackers Club. I have seen Noah work hard in the classroom, achieving excellent grades, and playing an active role in my classroom. On the football field, I have witnessed him lead by example and display a true toughness and leadership to those around him. But it wasn't until last June that I truly saw Noah's character at work. Let me paint the picture for you. We left Cuba Rushford about 2 a.m. on a rainy 50-degree Friday morning. We arrived in the Adirondacks about 10 a.m. Still raining, we put our packs on and headed into the woods. Noah volunteered to carry one of the bear cans with food in it. That adds about 15 extra pounds to your pack. About 2 hours into the hike, Noah noticed that one of our crew needed some help with his gear. Noah unselfishly volunteered to help the guy out and carry his pack. Now imagine trying to carry two 50-pound packs. We made camp about 4 hours in at a great lean-to, where once again Noah volunteered to hike over a mile round trip to refill everyone's water. It took me a very short time to see what I already knew was an outstanding leader with a solid character. Noah continued this service and leadership over the next 3 days as he took leadership roles, helped and cared for others, and truly went the extra mile without ever a negative word or act. We hiked to the top of a high peak, back to base camp, and out to the truck and home. Those 3 days I spent with Noah in the rain, cold, dark, and on the top of mountains truly let me understand who and what Noah Allis is all about. Noah is a born leader with the courage and strength to lead others and at the same time help others. Thank you, Noah, for letting me get to know you and letting me speak on your behalf today. It is for these reasons I am pleased to present Noah Allis for induction into the National Honor Society.
Introducing Adalia Bellata will be Mrs. Megan Tackentine.
Hello, I'm honored to be here today speaking on behalf of Mrs. Adalia Bellata. I have known Addie for about the past 8 years when she walked into my music class in elementary, to private piano lessons, to present day. She's always been the epitome of leadership, scholarship, character, and service. Over the past 3 years, I've been Adalia's music teacher at the high school level and gotten to know her as a young adult. So I could probably go on for quite a while about this young lady, but I'll try to keep it short. She told me to keep it good, too, so. It's hard to determine which character trait that Addie embodies the most. She's one of my most dedicated students on and off the field. She will do what it takes not only to make a rehearsal, but to be the leader in that rehearsal. She even came running in one day off of the field, still in her soccer cleats, ready to go. She has one of the strongest willed work ethics that I have witnessed over the past few years. Even if she is kicking a broom at Mr. Miller during a musical, or purposefully singing the wrong lyrics to the wrong show during the middle of the musical, she still does so with grace. She's in the top of her class academically, which means that even with playing sports and being actively involved in all music events physically possible, she is working hard in class as well as staying on top of her studies. Addie is a great role model for my younger students, and I can only hope that they look up to her for years to come. It is for these reasons that I, without hesitation, induct Adalia Bellata into National Honor Society.
Introducing Kelsey Bump will be Ms. Charlene Minkiewicz.
Hello, my name is Charlene Minkiewicz, and I'm the French teacher here at Cuba Rushford. Kelsey Bump has been a student of mine for the past 3 years, and throughout this time, I have seen Kelsey mature into a poised, determined, and beautiful young woman. When I met Kelsey 3 years ago, her positive attitude and ready smile were the first things I noticed about her. No matter the circumstances, she can always be relied on to look for the silver lining in any situation, and trust me, in high school, that is a rare trait. Kelsey is very determined and is willing to work hard for the things she desires. While naturally smart, Kelsey puts a lot of time into her studies and is not afraid to ask questions. Her inquisitive nature is one of her best qualities. She is fascinated by the world around her and is not afraid to ask questions that might seem silly to others. It is her enthusiasm to try new experiences that sets her apart. Last spring, Kelsey was one of the students who was able to travel to Europe with me, and it was her excitement and joy at seeing and experiencing every new opportunity that was presented to her that made her such a wonderful travel companion. She was as close to the guides as she could be at all times, trying to absorb all the information she could, even when we were all extremely jet-lagged. She asked a lot of questions and crammed every experience possible into our 10-day journey. Kelsey, keep your excitement, determination, and enthusiasm for your life as you continue through high school and beyond. With these qualities, you will surely succeed. It is with great pleasure that I induct Ms. Kelsey Bump to the National Honor Society.
Introducing Cheyenne Campa will be Mr. Bernard Riley.
Good afternoon. My name is Mr. Riley. I'm the criminal justice instructor at the Career and Technical Education Center in Belmont, and I'm also a sergeant with the Wallsville Police Department. I'm honored to be here today to introduce a wonderful young woman who I have had the privilege to teach the past 2 years in my course. Although I've been a police officer for 23 years, I'm pretty new to the classroom, so the world of academia is pretty new to me, and this is a ceremony I've never been a part of. I was told by Cheyenne to make my speech touching, funny, and wrapped up in about 6 sentences, so I guess I should apologize now because I don't think that's going to happen. But I will say that although I'm new to the classroom, I have a pretty good idea of what an exceptional student is. And Cheyenne has an eagerness in the classroom that has been unmatched. If I mention a book that we discuss in class, she's downloaded it and reading it and discussing it with me the next day. If I mention a movie, the same. She downloads, watches it, we discuss it. In fact, she doesn't know this, but her tenaciousness for learning actually inspires me to be a better teacher. And in my mind, that's what teaching is all about. So for those reasons and many more, it is my pleasure to introduce Cheyenne Campbell to your prestigious Cuba Rushford chapter of the National Honor Society.
Introducing Jasmine Dorsey will be Mrs. Sandy Tujimoto.
trying to help. And I was trying to help him.
It is truly an honor for me to stand before you today to speak about a girl I met approximately 10 years ago when she was at the age of 6. This young girl is Jasmine Dorsey. At a very young age, I can recall seeing her energy, her intelligence, and her enthusiasm for life. She wasn't afraid of anything. Her magnetic, vibrant personality made everyone want to be around her. For the past 10 years, I've watched the impeccable love and guidance that her mother, her mama, and papa provided to her on a daily basis. The daily support provided by her family helped her to pave the way for Jasmine to become the outstanding young lady that she is today. She is intelligent and determined, and she's beautiful on the inside, just as she is on the outside. Jasmine's strong leadership qualities, coupled with her work ethic and her organization skills, will continue to allow her for her future opportunities as she enters her senior year of high school and on to college. There's no doubt in my mind that Jasmine will fulfill her goals and be successful in life. Jasmine's unselfish and non-judgmental personality is accepting of all people from all walks of life. She's always willing to help others in need, even if it's just to listen. Relationships are important to Jasmine, and her friends and family will be the first to tell you. Her kind and caring personality magnetizes everyone. It has been a complete joy to watch you grow, physically, intellectually, and spiritually, into an incredible young woman. Jasmine, you have already made a positive impact while you have been a student here at Cuba Rushford Central School and to the community of Cuba. The world is yours. Continue to make a difference for others and for the world that we live in. If anyone can do it, it's you. I love you, Jasmine Dorsey.
Introducing Andrew Fair will be Mr. Chris Fee.
I want to start off by saying congratulations to all the inductees and their parents today. I can honestly come up here and say that when I first met Andrew in 9th grade Global, I had no idea that I would have the pleasure to come up here and introduce him for such a distinguished honor. I can also honestly say that I never thought he would turn himself into the Hulk either. During his high school career, Andrew has shown through academics and athletics his impeccable character and leadership. I always knew that Andrew was academically strong, and he consistently demonstrated that through his class discussion, a good sense of humor, and test grades. But Andy is also a role model. He is always upbeat and a good person to be around, which I learned through sitting with him at softball games and through countless hours at the weight room when everyone else was gone and he needed just one more set for biceps. I've seen through his commitment and passion, not just in the weight room but also with school endeavors, that he exhibited all the characteristics necessary for the NHS. Andrew, or Drew as they say, is a natural-born leader who has transformed himself into a dedicated lifter, good football player, and golfer through hard work. Sports by no means define a person, but the qualities and dedications to get to the top does, and he has them. He will not hesitate to help others or his school, and that is a direct reflection to his parents, Julie and Rob. I will leave you with the same advice I continue to give Andrew. The future is fair, no pun intended.
Introducing Maureen Goodman will be Ms. Rebecca Zimmerman.
Hi everyone. My name is Rebecca Zimmerman, and today I have the pleasure of inducting Maureen Goodman
into the National Honor Society. I'd like to say how honored I am to be sharing the stage with all of the inductees and their families and friends. Mo is an exceptional student athlete at CRCS and embodies both parts of that title. As a student, I first met Mo last year when she was a sophomore in my Regents chemistry class, which is primarily a junior year course. She was a respectful and intelligent student. She's the kind of student that puts in the extra time before and after school, and that will no doubt pay off for her in the future. As an athlete, Mo plays 3 sports: soccer, basketball, and softball for CRCS. As her softball coach, I can attest to the fact that she is a good teammate, a very coachable player, and a competitor at heart. If I could highlight one of her best qualities, it would be her drive for self-improvement. She's always trying to improve herself individually, whether it be academically by coming in earlier, staying late, or putting in extra work by going to camps or clinics or spending hours at the cage with her parents and her dad, getting on extra swings. Lastly, I'd like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Goodman for all they have done to produce such a wonderful young adult. Your involvement, support, and discipline, I'm sure, will open many doors for you, Maureen. Your nickname might be Slow Mo, but you're on a fast track to success. Congratulations, Mo.
Introducing Sierra Grimaldi will be Mr. Michael Ackerman.
It is both an honor and a privilege to speak on behalf of Sierra Grimaldi this afternoon. I could talk about many of the fine qualities that Sierra demonstrates on a daily basis, from her academic promise to her quiet and shy yet positive personality. Sierra shows us daily the type of student who is honored on the stage today. The quality that stands out most to me is service. Sierra is a hard worker, always willing to go the extra step to help friends and family, whether it is here at CRCS in one of her many activities or helping at her parents' restaurant. That's right, JD's Barbecue, located on Route 16 in Hinsdale. Takeout available. Open daily from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m., weekends 11 a.m. till 9 p.m., closed Tuesdays. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and visit our new location in West Seneca should you be shopping in Buffalo. Remember, when it comes to eating, you're not doing it if you aren't barbecuing it. I'll do anything for a free meal. By the way, on the off chance that Caitlin, Sierra's sister, is your waitress, wear old clothes. Anyway, Sierra, I am flattered that you asked me to present you today, and I am honored to speak on your behalf as you epitomize what a National Honor Society student should be. You make me smile every day, usually because I pull some kind of silly prank on you, or make you come and talk to me, and then I don't say anything and walk away, and you just go, why? What's that all about? You are a wonderful young lady, and I'm very, very proud to present you for induction into the CRCS chapter of the National Honor Society. Thank you.
Introducing Sean Hollowell will be Ms. Charlene Minkiewicz.
Hello again. When I first met Sean 3 years ago, my first thought was, boy, that kid is short. But his personality made up for what he lacked in height at the time, and in case you're wondering, he has grown quite a bit and is now taller than I am. And we recently took a trip to St. Bonaventure where the professor of the class that we sat in upon goes, how old is that kid? He's like 9. And I was like, no, he's a junior, but trust me, you'll be grateful for that someday. Sean, also known as Peanut or Francois in French class, is one of the types of students that every teacher wants to have. Smart, willing to participate, someone who knows when to joke around and when to apply themselves. Someone who is willing to tackle difficult questions and potentially fail, but someone who is willing to try again and again until he finds the right solution. Sean is able to do all this with a smile on his face. Sean is also very passionate about his interests. This past summer, he competed as a junior Olympian in sailing. Who sails around here? Except for Sean. Sean is a true friend to all those in his class and is always ready to help others with a smile and a joke. Along with all of his other nicknames, I'm going to call him Butter because he's on a roll. Sean Hollowell, it's with great pleasure that I induct you into our chapter of National Honor Society.
Introducing Tony Ireland will be Mrs. Wendy Sprague.
Hello, everyone. I'm Wendy Sprague, and I am Cuba Rushford's school librarian. And it is my honor and privilege to be here to say a few words about Tony Ireland. I first met Tony when she was in my 6th grade library skills class. Over the years, I guess you could say we bonded over books. I would make suggestions for her to read, and she would make suggestions for me to read. Eventually, she turned into my unofficial one-person book selection committee, and she sure knows how to pick them. The books that she's selected over the years are the ones that still fly in and out of the library. I asked her if she'd be interested in becoming a library assistant. And she said yes, and since then she's mastered any task I've asked of her, from shelving books, checking books out, returning books, and even cataloging books. She's also quick to help others with spot-on book recommendations. As I've grown to know Tony better at CRCS, I've seen her challenge herself academically. I've seen her persevere when school was hard. I've seen her tough it out through health challenges. I've also seen her make the tough courses look easy. I've listened to her map out a fantastic future for herself, knowing it will take a lot of hard work, but also fully confident that she has what it takes to make it happen. So while I couldn't be happier for her, and am so proud of Tony in receiving this honor, I am not at all surprised by it. Tony truly embodies those qualities essential of a National Honor Society member. Now I only have one more thing to say, and it's to Tony directly. You are a bright, bold, and beautiful young lady. You go, girl.
Introducing Joshua Jones will be Ms. Charlene Mankiewicz.
And hello again for what I think is the last time. Joshua Jones is the quintessential gentleman. Polite, even-keeled, hardworking, conscientious. He is someone that can always be counted on to give his all in everything he does. From working every weekend at Sprague's to always completing his work with precision, it is his quiet presence which makes him such a wonderful addition to the classroom, the sports teams, and the community in which he lives. Josh won this year's Senior Superlative Gym Class Hero because in everything he does, he gives his all. From the classroom to the sports field, Josh gives his whole heart, soul, and effort to do his best no matter what. His determination continues in every situation he encounters. In fact, I even had another student say, even in the weight room, he goes as hard as he can. He's a beast. However, he wins and loses with grace. Not one to boast, he just wears a quiet smile and continues on as if nothing happened. Josh, you are going to do great things in your life. Continue to be a gentleman and never lose your determination. Nothing can stop you. It is with the utmost happiness that I induct Mr. Joshua Jones into the National Honor Society.
Introducing Connolly Morris will be Ms. Michelle Grillo.
Hello, I'm Michelle Grillo, and I am delighted to be here today to introduce Connolly Morris for induction into the Cuba Rushford chapter of the National Honor Society. I have known Connolly for just 1 year, but in that short time, I have seen her demonstrate all of the qualities that the National Honor Society embodies. Connolly's character and scholarship in particular have really impressed me this year. She is always cheerful, polite, and willing to help other students in her class. I don't think that I have ever seen Connolly in a bad mood, and her smile is absolutely contagious. Connolly also understands the importance of education, and she seems to truly love learning. She discusses literature with an excitement that warms an English teacher's heart. Connolly's kindness and passion for learning are qualities that will ensure her success in school, in the National Honor Society, and in life. I am honored to present Connolly Morris for induction into the National Honor Society.
Introducing Patrick New will be Mr. David Voles.
Good afternoon. My name is Mr. Volz, and I have the honor and privilege of introducing Patrick New for induction into the Cuba Rushford chapter of the National Honor Society. Knowing Patrick for the past 4 years, both as a student and as an athlete on the track team, I have had the opportunity to see the qualities of the NHS practiced and demonstrated by Patrick in many ways, none more so than through the qualities of character and leadership. When Patrick asked me to introduce him for induction, I was both honored and a bit taken back. When I accepted Patrick's request, he commented that he had chosen me because I had, quote, made a difference to him. As I reflected on Patrick's words, I realized that every one of us, whether it be a teacher, counselor, administrator, or other, have the awesome responsibility to make a difference every day with the students that we teach. But what I have to say back to Patrick is this: it is you who continues to make a difference in all that you do because of who you are. Your leadership, your character, your perseverance in the classroom, on this stage, and on the varsity track team are an inspiration to everyone around you. You told me that you chose me to introduce you because I had made a difference, but in reality, it is you, a student, an actor, and an athlete, that inspires me and those around you to strive to make differences every day. A very wise author once said, "You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself in any direction that you choose." So Patrick, as long as you always follow your dreams, believe in yourself, work hard to try to reach your goals, you will always make a difference in all that you do. Please help me congratulate Patrick New on his nomination into the CRCS NHS Society.
Introducing Jordan Schaller will be Mr. Timothy Ellison.
Hello. You guys remember that? Good afternoon. I'm Mr. Ellison, and today I am both honored and flattered to have been selected to introduce Ms. Jordan Schaller for induction into the Cuba Rushford chapter of the National Honor Society. Jordan, first off, job well done. I'd like to congratulate your parents, PJ and Caldana, for their hard work and dedication to you. Also your sister Carly for her support throughout the years. I'm glad you guys could be here today. This ceremony is a great way to celebrate the achievements and sacrifices you have made, and we're all really proud of you. I still remember the first time that I got to know Jo. She was in 8th grade, and I was the lunch lady, cafeteria monitor. Some of you sophomores, juniors might remember that time. Anyways, being a high school teacher, I didn't really have too many opportunities to interact with middle schoolers, and Jo was kind of struggling with a certain Spanish concept. Do you remember that? So she asked me for some help. So after I yelled at a kid for whipping mashed potatoes across the table or something like that, I sat down with her, gave her a little bit of tutelage, and she came back the next day, and she was so proud. She showed me her quiz, and she had done really well on it. Another day, I remember encouraging Jo as she was preparing to enter high school to get involved, not only in athletics, but with clubs, community service opportunities, things of that nature. And I told her this, and before you know it, here I am standing in front of you guys today, and she's managed to do all of these things. Not only was she receptive to my suggestions then, but she continues to be an active young lady involved in her community, and I'm proud of you for that. This is why I feel that of all the traits that we use to identify our members up here, Jordan truly possesses a strong moral character and an endless dedication to her community. To wrap things up here today, Jordan, again, I congratulate you for this honor. You're an exemplary CRCS student, and I know you'll continue to put your community first. These traits will help guarantee success as you pursue your future goals. This is why today it is such a great privilege to present Ms. Jordan Shaler for induction.
Introducing Hannah Watson will be Mr. John Butler.
I got a little distracted sitting there because I must have misheard. Did Mr. Capoletti say they took 50-pound beer cans on those backpacking trips there? I wasn't sure what. I thought I'm doing the wrong advisorship here. I want to get into. Okay, I think two of our final three candidates here. I should just do them together because they're frickin' frack. They're Cagney and Lacey, and they're Rizzoli and Isles, the two of them here. Can't find one without the other. My first inductee here is Hannah Watson. I had the privilege of teaching Hannah in Global Studies 10 last year, and I'm honored to be the person to welcome her to the National Honor Society. I hope that with her injury, she can make it up to the stage. And if not, we'll give her a spot to somebody else out there. Why should Hannah become a member of the NHS? She was a hardworking student who participated a great deal in class. She didn't like being distracted by others who weren't paying attention or doing what they should be doing. And she wasn't afraid to say that to them or to me. She was one of the students who would ask you about your day sincerely and tell you what was going on with hers. She had a great sense of humor and sometimes a little edgy and biting, but really funny. I don't think any teacher could ever walk by her in the hall and she wouldn't greet them. She never asked to go to the bathroom, ever, in class. Well, maybe once in a while. She twisted my arm to watch Les Mis, and I think she probably would have watched it about 5 times if I let them do that. She was one of those students who, when she was absent, something was missing from class. There wasn't the same energy in that class. I'm told she has an interest in possibly getting into interior design. I think I could help her get started by working up in my classroom and doing something with that mess up there. And if any other teachers or staff are looking for some advice in that area, you can make an appointment with her. This is the type of person that belongs in the NHS. She's personable, helpful, mature, and responsible. And I'm proud to induct her into the National Honor Society. Hannah Watson. Do you need to introduce me? Okay, I'm staying up here again for, I don't know, are you Cagney or Lacey? I can't remember which one here. Sam Witcher. I've had the distinct privilege of teaching Sam for 2 years in Global Studies 9 and 10, and I'm honored to be the person to welcome her to the National Honor Society. Why should Sam be a member of the NHS? She is as responsible, organized, and accountable as any student I've ever had. She had high expectations for herself, of me, and of others in the class. She wasn't afraid to speak her mind, respectfully, of course. Over the course of 2 years, she was always among my top students, if not the top. If she was absent, she didn't have to be told to get the notes or whatever makeup work she had to do. She asked questions, she answered questions, and she always wanted to make sure she had it right. She was one of the go-to students. When you're asking the tough questions, looking for critical thinking answers, you'd look in her direction. As serious-minded and practical as she was, she still had a pleasant and subtle sense of humor, and she would always speak to you in the hall. She never asked to go to the bathroom, hardly ever at all. At one point, Sam indicated to me that she was interested in going to medical school, and even as a 9th grader, I thought to myself, boy, I can really see that happening. So, paging Dr. Witcher, and come take your place in the NHS. Thank you.
introducing Tessa Whiteside will be Mr. Kirk Miller.
We saved the best for last. I'm talking about Tessa, not me. Before I start, though, I just want to make an observation. Wonder what the atmosphere in school would be like if we dressed like this all the time. That'd be kind of cool. Although I do recommend leaving your shoes on all the time. But she didn't get that. That was addressed to you, by the way, for walking around barefoot all day. But anyways, good afternoon. I'm Mr. Miller. I'm the band director here at Cuba Rushford. One of the great honors we teachers have, as several have mentioned, is the opportunity to introduce the students for membership in the National Honor Society. And it's been my pleasure to do it for some of the other students already up here. And it's my privilege to introduce one of its newest members, Tessa Whiteside. I've had the pleasure of being Tessa's band director since she was in 6th grade. Throughout this time, she's consistently displayed all of the qualities expected of a member of NHS. The specific quality which stands out most to me today, though, is leadership. When I first met Tessa, she was an enthusiastic, smiling little trumpet player who, when I asked for someone in the band to please try another instrument like French horn, because we desperately needed one, she eagerly, without hesitation, still with a smile on her face, volunteered to make the switch. Right away, I could see she was a student who could be counted on to always do her best to help the program. Since then, again, always with a smile, she's worked hard to be a valuable member of all of our ensembles. Her hard work has earned her recognition in both all-county and area all-state groups. This year, she's even been going to the lessons of some of the younger students from time to time. She actually looks at their lesson schedules and comes to their lessons so she can play along with them, which has been a big help to them in terms of their development. All of this should be noted while not actually being on the schedule for band or jazz band or anything like this. On her own time, she's been doing this. That's leadership, as well as character and scholarship. I could mention many more examples of Tessa's leadership, including all that she's done for Cuba Rushford's FFA chapter as well. But in the interest of time, I'll simply say, Tessa, thank you for all you've done, and I enthusiastically present you for induction into the National Honor Society.
I proudly present the 2015 newly inducted members of the Cuba Rushford Central School Chapter of the National Honor Society. The candidates will now rise to recite the National Honor Society Pledge. Please repeat after me. I pledge myself to uphold the high promise of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected, striving in every way to make its ideals the ideals of my school and my life. Congratulations, you may now be seated. Mr. Ackerman and I will now distribute certificates and membership cards to each of our new members. Noah Allis. Adalia Bellata. Kelsey Bump. Cheyenne Campbell. Jasmine Dorsey. Andrew Fair. No. Maureen Goodman. Sierra Grimaldi. Sean Hollowell. Tony Ireland. Joshua Jones. Connolly Morris. Patrick New. Jordan Schaller. Hannah Watson. Samantha Witcher. Tessa Whiteside.
At this time, we would like to induct an honorary member from the community to the CRCS National Honor Society. The CRCS chapter is continuing a tradition that was begun 5 years ago to induct an honorary member to our organization. This year, we have a candidate whom we felt strongly should be presented with this honor. The criteria for this award is simple and to the point. The recipient shall be a member of the CRCS community who demonstrates the qualities of the NHS while contributing to the school or community in a manner that merits our respect and admiration. The recipient is chosen unanimously by the established 12th grade members. Mo Morris and Tyler Klein will present this award, as we also honor past recipients, Ms. Mary Ellen Moriarty, Ms. Marion Blair, Mrs. Diane Conklin, Mrs. Diane Burt, Mr. Michael Coons, and Mr. Richard Allman, and thank all of those recipients for their hard work and excellent work on behalf of all the students, past and present, at the school. Fellows.
It is with great pleasure that I announce this year's Honorary National Honor Society member, Mr. Scott Jordan. Mr. Jordan has been a member of the CRCS faculty for the past 24 years, and during that time, he has built the fisheries and wildlife program that our school is renowned for. Unlike any other school in our area, we have access to a functional hatchery and trout stock pond, a wildlife center, a wetlands, a deer tracking and management program, a nationally broadcasted TV show, and the newest addition, the Deer Research Center. The things Mr. Jordan has done for this school are much more than a few buildings and classes, however. Mr. Jordan takes an active role in laying the foundation of his students' futures. Because of Mr. Jordan, I, as well as a number of classmates and former students, have been able to find a career that holds special meaning to our lives. It is not just his students that Mr. Jordan supports. Whenever tragedy strikes our small community, Mr. Jordan is one of the first people to give help to those who are struggling. His rough exterior gives way to a man that I one day strive to be. Intelligent, dedicated, passionate, and always understanding. We will always recognize him as top-notch.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could just add one thing to that. Mr. Jordan in 2004 was named one of the top 20 teachers in the United States of America by USA Today. The proof is out in the lobby on a plaque that you can read the story about this man. And although that was 11 years ago, it could be every single year that he's voted that. He's a terrific person to work with. I enjoy his sense of humor. I wish he dressed better. What are you going to do?
Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Gildemeister, will now address the NHS members, student body, faculty, staff, and guests.
Good afternoon. Parents, I want to start with you. I want to thank you for your active role in helping your children reach this milestone in their lives. Today we are very proud because there are 17 young men and women leaders acknowledging their desire to make a positive difference wherever they are and whomever they are with. So to our new members, I congratulate you today. I am very proud of each and one of you for wanting this and doing what it takes to get here. You guys do look great, by the way, today. Very professional. I know that last year we used the way you guys dressed up here to help us with our dress code, so thank you. I do have a question for you. How did Mr. Jordan get inducted with that football jersey on? He didn't know? All right. Well, at least he wasn't wearing camel today, that's for sure. I want to take the time to thank Mr. Ackerman, who has been advising the NHS at CRCS for 5 years and has been doing a great job. So thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ackerman, all of our guests, the student body, faculty, and administration for being a part of today's ceremony. At this time, I would like to call upon Mr. Erickson to close today's ceremony with a few words.
Thank you. I'd like to congratulate all the inductees. It's so interesting to see you now because some of you guys, last time I saw you were that tall, so great job. And I'd like to congratulate the parents and family on this honor bestowed to them today. It is through dedication and character on top of your academic achievements that makes you part of this prestigious organization. Thank you to all of our guests for attending. I'd like to thank the student body and faculty for taking part in today's ceremony, as we are one of the few schools who choose to conduct the National Honor Society ceremony with the involvement of the student body. I'd also like to thank all the people who helped in making our program. We're all proud of the custodial staff, Mr. Kenyon for the lighting, Mrs. Tackentine for the music, and all of our presenters, the teachers for their cooperation and help, Mrs. Sprague for the assistance with the reception in the library, and finally, Mrs. Conklin and Mrs. Burt for all of their hard work and behind-the-scenes dedication. Without the assistance of all these fine people, the program would not be possible. At this time, I'd like to invite the members of the National Honor Society and their families to the library for reception. The student body should remain in their seats until dismissal, at which time the faculty is also invited to the reception. Thank you. Have a restful and relaxing break.